Welcome everyone. Hey, I'm Adam Miller, and I'm also here with Jim Fitzsimmons, and it's 27th, 2020. So we plan to hit on a couple topics today for our update. We want to touch on the use of video conferencing and how that's now being used within our business. Talk about some of the questions around our changes in accelerated pay. Provide a brief update on the current freight market, and talk a little bit about our approach to Driver Appreciation Week that's upcoming here soon. So first, I'll touch on video conferencing, and just talk about how last year we implemented a system that allowed us to seamlessly make calls between our different individuals in our organization using video conferencing. And quite honestly, we didn't use it to its full extent. I think it's because we were already in the office and we're able to communicate with each other in person quite often. But really, once we, had a lot of our office employees begin to work from home, we realized the value of seeing each other while we were talking and having conference calls. And it really changed the dialogue and the interaction for the better during that time period. And what we realized was that this could have some tremendous value with how we communicate with our driving associates, who, for the most part, when we have discussions with our driving associates, that's they're over the road and we're not able to see each other, not able to read body language, and not able to see emotion. And we think those are all very important nonverbal cues that I think help build a better relationship. So we're making a big push for our leaders to leverage the video conference capabilities whenever possible, and especially with our driving associates. And we've tested this out, and we've had some great feedback from several drivers who've really enjoyed that type of communication. But we understand, hey, this may not be for everyone, but we ask that you try it out and you see if you like it, and you see if that's a better experience. And our goal is to create a meaningful relationship with our employees, because we believe that will allow us to create a strong working relationship and allow us to work through challenges together and become more effective at our jobs. And we feel like this is a tool that we may have underutilized in the past. And we just ask that you guys try it out and see if you like it, and see if that's a better experience with working with your driver leaders and even your terminal leaders. So you may see an outreach from the terminal to set that up. And so again, we encourage you to test it out. And if you haven't seen that outreach yet, maybe ask your driver leader or your terminal leader about it. And let's see if we can, improve that communication while you're over the road. The next topic I wanted to hit was the change in accelerated pay and the fact that that's going to be eliminated. And we've had several questions to this change, and so I thought I'd hit on maybe the reason for it, and then what the real impact is to the business. The regulatory environment in many states has become very challenging over the last several years, and we've seen a significant increase in claims surrounding wage compliance issues. And so in order to simplify and to defend our pay practices, we're aligning the loads that we will pay out with our defined pay period. So what that means is that the loads that are emptied or T-called between Monday through Sunday are paid out the following Friday. So this means that the hours worked during that pay period and the pay associated with those hours will now be aligned and included in every pay statement. So it doesn't impact the aggregate amount of pay you'll receive. The only change is the timing of when you will receive your pay, which still remains weekly. And we've posted now a calendar on Swift Transmission to provide some clarity of how the pay periods will work. So it's there for your reference to maybe clarify any questions around that. We've made this transition already in several states. And quite honestly, after the first transition week, it was essentially a non-issue for the vast majority of our driving associates. And at this point now, we just feel it's appropriate to make those changes nationwide. It's not something that we wanted to do, but we felt that it best protects our company and our employees. And so that's why we're making that change now. Now, I want to reiterate that the company does not benefit from this change and that the wages of our driving associates are not impacted. And hey, we remain committed to investing in our driving associates, and we have been for over the last several years. We've offered several additional benefits over the last couple of years. I'll name a few. We've added awards for our million milers. We've enhanced our driver diamond program. We've increased pay for mentors. We've introduced several different productivity bonuses. We provided PP&E and supplies during the most recent COVID-19 pandemic. We've improved amenities in our trucks, such as refrigerators and better mattresses. We've made significant investments in our terminals and facilities in order to improve driver comfort and the experience that our drivers feel. And our plan is to continue to invest in the pay of our driving associates as the market strengthens and we continue to improve in the safety of our operation. That gives us the ability to invest in our drivers. And so we expect that you'll see more and more of that in the coming months. And hey, I just want to end it to say, just to tell everyone how much I thank all the men and women at Swift for what they do to keep America moving. And we appreciate everything that you do to make Swift the greatest trucking company in the nation. And so with that, I'll turn it over to our EVP of Operations, Jim Fitzsimmons.
Hey, thanks, Adam. And so if anyone still has questions out there, about the accelerated pay, and if you're still not exactly certain how that'll impact you or not impact you, because today only about 50% of the drivers, or just under 50%, were being paid an accelerated pay. So it's not impacting every driver, and so I think there's a lot of confusion out there, and maybe we should have clarified that better as we rolled it out. And sometimes we feel like these videos might be a better way to get more details out as we make changes. But if you're still uncertain or you still have questions, please contact your driver leader or driver payroll. It can also answer those questions. But the bottom line, like Adam said, it's not a cut in pay, and we don't want you to be concerned or think we're up to something with this change. So please reach out if you still have concerns or questions. A couple of things I want to hit on. First is just the freight market. So we've been talking about this for a while now. We really saw the freight kind of bust loose since about going in, middle of May, but really June, all of July. August has been extremely strong, and we're forecasting to see this very hot freight market continue. And so I would just definitely encourage you to take advantage while the freight is there, and we think it's going to last. And so, you're in charge of when you run and when you don't run, but I could definitely tell you right now, there's a lot of freight. Typically, most of our freight is Monday through Friday, but right now we're rolling so much freight over, and the demand for trucks and drivers right now is so high that if a customer needs a load to ship on Friday, they just can't find capacity in a lot of times. So a lot of this freight's rolling into the weekend, and so we have a lot of weekend freight right now. So just keep that in mind if you're on a normal schedule where you try to be home on certain days. If you want to take advantage and really boost up your paycheck, now would be the time. We got Labor Day coming up September 7th, so keep that in mind. If you normally take, say, 3 or 4 days off and try to do a long weekend, this might be a great year to cut that back to 2 or 3 days and take advantage of the freight that's going to be out there, because it'll be the same thing where we're just going to roll freight over day after day, and there'll be plenty of freight for any driver that wants to run. So if you're on a dedicated fleet and your customer might be shut down, take advantage of all the regional and line haul freight we have. We can still have you back where you need to be, come Tuesday, but just tons of opportunity right now to make extra money. Next thing I wanted to hit on was the Driver Appreciation Week. And so that's the week of September 13th through the 19th. Obviously, with COVID, we've got to do things a lot different this year than we have in past years. But our intent is still to show every driver our appreciation. So instead of doing lunches like we normally do, where we're cooking lunch and then sitting down and eating right there, there'll be a lot more box lunches that we're doing so that we could try to stay compliant with all the rules around how we're preparing the food, how we're serving the food, etc. But know that the intent is still to show our appreciation. I know it's not going to be as easy this year when we're trying to do social distancing and that type of stuff. So we're still going to be doing giveaways. So there'll be a couple of different giveaway programs. Some will be locally at the terminal, and then we're going to have some national gifts where all driver codes will be registered, and then there'll be raffles to pull driver codes out for some of the larger gifts. So really appreciate everything everyone continues to do. Obviously we're a long ways from being over the virus, and so we continue to fight through. We're trying to bring as many people back into the office where it makes sense. We have a lot of issues we're working through where, we now have a lot of parents that are having to attend to children that are now, doing online school. And so it's very difficult in some places. Some cities are worse than others, depending on the school situation or just the overall cases in that city or county. And so we're staying very fluid, but our goal is, whether or not somebody's at home or in the office, our goal is for us to make sure we're taking care of our drivers. And so hopefully you're not seeing too much of an impact as we manage through this COVID. But I do appreciate everyone just having a little more patience and taking a deep breath when you need to if we're not taking care of your needs. We're also in the process of making some changes with our ECT for both nights and weekends. We know there's a need there to get more support to take care of those that need it nights and weekends. And so we've heard your concerns, and we're working through some changes there to make everything better. So again, just appreciate everything everyone's doing. Thank you.